Are you ready to go? Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Board of Commissioners this morning. Everybody's virtual, everybody's here. We got some final business before the end of the year we got to take care of. So we're gonna take care of that. I just want to let everybody know that my oldest boy's having emergency surgery this morning down at Henry Ford. So if you see me texting on my phone or communicating with somebody, you know what I'm doing. And if I do get a phone call and I gotta leave abruptly to take that call, you all understand what's going on, because I don't like to be on my phone or anything during meetings, because I want to be here present in the boardroom, but just to let everybody know that just in case. We're gonna call the meeting. I'm gonna call the meeting in order this morning. We're gonna have prayer by Commissioner Barrios, pledge of allegiance by Commissioner Bardwell, and roll call by clerk substitute.
Lord, as we gather here today, the end of the year, let us keep in mind the purpose that we are here for, to serve our community and to do the very best that we can in the positions that we hold. Have your blessings on our service providers in the county, whether they be the police department, the health department, or the general population that services the needs of our community. Bless them, give us the strength and the knowledge to continue on next year with making the best decisions for our community to be able to prosper and grow. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barrios,
Yes.
Commissioner Bardwell,
Here.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Here.
Commissioner Loop,
Here.
Commissioner Cook.
Here.
You have a quorum, you may proceed.
Thank you. Adoption of the agenda. Was there anything to add to the agenda this morning?
Chair, I move to adopt the agenda as presented.
Support. Has been moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Luce to adopt the agenda as presented. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Adoption of the agenda has been passed. Action on previous minutes. And there's none on that. We'll move down to public comment. Have anybody here in the room who wants to address the board this morning on the agenda items? Anybody else there in virtual land that's making the address the board this morning? Let the record show that public comment was offered and we had no takers. Let's move on to the consent agenda. We have nothing on the consent agenda. So we'll get right into our new business. First thing on our new business is the Rick Boiler letter of appreciation. And I'll take care of that. It says Rick Boiler letter of appreciation. Okay, yeah, letter from us to Mr. Boylan. Dear Mr. Boylan, on behalf of Tuscola County Board of Commissioners, we'd like to express our appreciation for the valuable services you have provided as a member of the Tuscola County Planning Commission. You have provided the community with over 6 years of useful service. We appreciate your willingness to step up and serve as a key member of the Planning Commission Board and liaison member for the County Parks and Recreation Board. Your contributions to the county have been invaluable, and you have made a significant difference in achieving the goals of the Tuscola County Planning Commission. Your service dedication to the citizens of Tuscola County as an important member is to be commended. We wish you the very best in the coming years and truly appreciate you being a valued member of Tuscola County Planning Commission. Sincerely, Tuscola County Board of Commissioners. Thank you, Rick Boylan, and I know Rick personally, and he did. He brought a lot to the table. Very smart. So we appreciate his service to us, and we'll move into number 2.
We have to read that motion, do we?
Yeah, we got.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, we gotta read that.
Chairman, I move to approve and place on file a letter of appreciation for Richard Boland for his service and dedication to Tuscola County as a member of the Tuscola County Planning Commission.
Support.
Bill moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Barrios, to move to approve the place on file a letter of appreciation for Richard Boyle for his services and dedication to Tuscola County as a member of the Tuscola County Planning Commission. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Let's do place on file. Thank you. Move on number 2, MDT corrections to 2023 False Allegation Plan, CAP, for Health Department, Erica.
Good morning.
Morning.
The cost allocation plan this year, when we were doing it, which was for fiscal year 2024, brought up some questions. And when we looked deeper, we found that there was an error in the prior year. We cannot go back to the prior year and correct it. However, 2023 allocation was paid in 25. So we can correct what the health department overpaid. So they were charged for services that they did not receive. They were charged for IT services and they have their own IT department. So we worked with Ian to confirm that. So it was an error and we just need to refund them. They've already done their 4 quarters of allocations back to us. So we need to refund them $13,064.
Motion number 2.
The Chair, I move to approve the adjustment to the MGT cost allocation plan, CAP, for fiscal year 2023 and refund to the Tuscola County Health Department $13,064 for indirect costs for services that were paid for by the Tuscola County Health Department but not rendered by Tuscola County.
Support. Bill moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Williams, to move to approve the adjustment to the MGT cost allocation plan, CAP, for fiscal year 2023 and refund to the Tuscola County Health Department $15,064 for indirect costs for services that were paid for by the Tuscola County Health Department but not rendered by Tuscola County. There's a motion, any more discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion's been approved. General fund adjustments, Erica Dibble.
Good morning again. So I provided you with a printed copy as well as I emailed you a copy of the year-end compliance. So general fund adjustments, there are 2 pages of those. These are adjustments that are outside of my scope as controller administrator. Therefore, I need approval. These are adjustments of budget to actual. Excuse me. Nope. Yes. Budget to actual, right? General fund adjustment. Yes.
Okay.
So things that are outside of my scope include things that are above 5,000 or anything that is regarding wage or fringe.
Chairman, I move to approve the 2025 general fund activity budgets be amended to the amount shown on table 1 to prevent actual year-end expenditures from exceeding budget and in order to gain compliance with the Uniform Budget and Accounting Act.
Support. Been moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Luce, to move to approve that the 2025 general fund activity budget be amended to the amount shown on table 1 to prevent actual year-end expenditures from exceeding budget in order to gain compliance with the Uniform Budget and Accounting Act. That is a motion. Then more discussion.
Yes, I have a question. Is this something that goes on all year long? And do you have an opportunity like mid-year or quarterly to adjust these or look at them?
Yes, and we did a mid-year. However, these ones were either not caught or we waited till the end to see where we land. Some of these are things that are outside of control, such as retirements. Those change based on the number of active employees versus the number of retirees. Those amounts do change every month based on active employee counts.
Nancy, we do this every year. At the end of the year,
Yep.
we have this meeting to make sure that all the budgets are in line, everything's in black, there's nothing in red.
Yep,
So every year this meeting, yeah, we do this.
Yep, I understand. I just wondered if we were waiting, if these could be addressed earlier on in the year. as
We
opposed
do.
to-
We would still have, we do, but we'd still have this same meeting.
Right,
we're having.
at the end of the year,
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Need to vote on
You have to vote on that.
it. Oh, any more discussion? Sorry, well, thank you. I almost was gonna forget that. Any more discussion? Here none, all fair say aye.
Aye.
Motion's been approved. Number 4, 2025 special revenue adjustments.
This is the same concept as the first one. However, this is for special revenue. Again, these are things that are outside of my scope that need to be corrected. Budget to actual, for example, some of them are earned interest exceeded budget amount. So we'd like to make the budget more accurate for year end.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve that the 2025 special revenue fund budget be amended in the amount shown in table 2 to prevent year-end expenditures and revenue from exceeding the budget and in order to gain compliance with the Uniform Budget and Accounting Act.
I'll support that.
The moved by Commissioner Lutz, supported by Commissioner Cook, to move to approve the 2025 special revenue fund budgets amended in amount shown in table 2 to prevent year-end expenditures and revenues from exceeding the budget and in order to gain compliance with the Uniform Budget and Accounting Act. That is the motion. No more discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's been approved. Move down to number 5.
So there are two funds that are showing in a deficit for 2025. However, we are expecting revenue to offset that, but it's anticipated to be after the February 28th cutoff to accrue back. So typically, there are some other grants right now that will show at the end of December, they will show in a deficit, but we'll receive that revenue in January and we'll accrue that back. Therefore, it will not be in a deficit. So I did not include those. There are two funds that the typical revenue comes back later. So we're asking for a temporary appropriation to bring that fund into alignment. However, that will be returned back to the general fund after the revenue is received to bring that fund into compliance.
And again, that's something that we're used to the board do that.
Yes.
Because that it comes every year. They'll not come in till next year, and then we have to go back.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve that the temporary appropriations from the general fund in the amount shown on table 3 be authorized to prevent the identified funds from finishing the 2025 fiscal year in a deficit situation and gain compliance with the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act.
I'll support.
The moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Barros, to move to approve the temporary appropriation from the general fund in the amounts shown on table 3 be authorized to prevent the identified funds from finishing the 2025 fiscal year in the deficit situation and gain compliance with the Uniform Budget and Accounting Act. The motion, any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion's been approved.
There's one more motion requested in that same line item or that same budget, that same agenda item. And that is for a appropriation to victim services, the 236 fund that is at the prosecutor's office. So that grant, the expenditures, particularly in the retirement line, exceeded the grant approval amount. And again, that is at no fault of the victim service advocate that works there. It's the retirement account that, again, is outside of her control. She's in a defined benefit plan. And so as people retire or as that liability increases, the employer cost for that retirement account grows and is outside of the control of that person. So I'm asking to have a one-time appropriation to correct that for 2025.
That motion be there.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve that the appropriations from the general fund in the amount shown on table 4 be authorized to prevent the identified funds from finishing the 2025 fiscal year in a deficit situation and gain compliance with the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act.
Support.
The moved by Commissioner Cook, supported by Commissioner Luke, to move to approve appropriations from the general fund in the amount shown on table 4 be authorized to prevent the identified fund from finishing the 2025 fiscal year in a deficit situation and gain compliance with the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion is passed. Move on to number 6, delinquent tax revolving fund transfer.
I've been working with the treasurer to ensure that there is enough funds available in the delinquent tax revolving fund to meet the budgeted 682,000 transfer, and she confirmed that that is available. So I would like approval to transfer that 682,000 per the 2025 budget.
Chair, I move to approve the transfer of the actual delinquent tax revolving fund and income to the general fund as a budget.
Should that amount be in there?
That's up to you and the clerk. It is as budgeted, which the budget was already approved. So I just put as budgeted since it's the same amount. But if you feel more comfortable,
Just asking. No,
I'm
that's
happy
fine.
to rewrite the motion.
Any more discussion? That was been moved by, who made the motion?
I did.
And Commissioner Barris, who seconded that motion? So moved by Commissioner Luke, seconded by Commissioner Barrios. The move to approve the transfer of the actual delinquent tax revolving fund income to the general fund as budget. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Motion has been approved. Then we'll move down to number 7.
So every year there are things that come up after this meeting. So in the prior years, there was a motion to authorize the control administrator to make some of those changes after discussion with the auditors. So that's the first motion requested, is granting me permission to make some of those adjustments as needed with discussion from the auditors.
Chair, I move to authorize staff and other consultants with the county auditors to conduct the further year-end financial transactions and to make adjustments necessary to gain compliance with the Uniform Budget and Accounting Act.
I'll support that.
Moved by Commissioner Luke, supported by Commissioner Cook. The move to authorize staff after consultations with the county auditor to conduct further year-end financial transactions and to make adjustments necessary to gain compliance with the Uniform Budgeting and Accounting Act. For the motion, any more discussion?
I have a question. Are there limitations on dollar amount, or is it just to correct whatever?
I believe the motion is just to correct anything that may not have surfaced until before today. So
No
for
dollar amount.
Right. So current dollar amount is I can do anything under 5,000 or that is not a wage or fringe. So if it falls within that, I already have permission to do so. So this would be, for example, the first pay in January is partially accrued back. If one of the line items is now in the red again, I have permission to correct that. Again, with the auditor's review. So I don't know as if currently there is not a threshold on that motion request, but we can definitely make that if needed.
We did that last year, didn't we? Yeah.
Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is passed.
There is one more motion on that list, and that is the journal entry, the last page. That is requests that did not fall into any of the other buckets. The funds are not in a deficit, but it's merely to update budget to actual and do some cleanup. So there are 3 funds, 4 line items in the general fund, 4 in the 217 and 4 in the 230. The 217 and the 230, the 217 is the material management planning. And that was previously in the 230 fund. We're doing some cleanup to make those accurate. And then the general fund is, again, we're moving some things that were charged, for example, charged to insurance and bonds, but it was really for next year. So it should have been in a prepaid, which would then become an asset on the balance sheet. So this is just some cleanup, but they're above my scope
Orthline.
I move to approve the budget to actual journal entry in the amount shown on table 5.
Support.
Bill moved by Commissioner Root, supported by Commissioner Barrios, to move to approve the budget actual journal entry in the amounts shown on table 5. Was there any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is passed.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you for that, Erica. That takes it all through the new business. Let's jump into old business again and discuss those safety measures at 6 and 10.
There is a meeting on the
Wow.
31st.
Okay. Mr. Cook, you want to take this, or let me say before we get started, maybe I'll say this first. At the last meeting, I kind of went over different options for the commissioners or whatever, but things have changed a little bit since then. Because I was waiting for some more information, which I got. And there's no doubt that PA 14 and 15, the Road Commission Accountability Act of 2012 gives us more complete power over that. We can disband them with a simple majority vote out of resolution. We can eliminate their powers. We can take away powers from them and bring them back to this board. That act basically allows us to do what we want. So through that, I was impressed. I threw out the option of putting to a public vote. I wanted to go to Calhoun County's site for a minute and to double check my stats. And it says Calhoun County previously had an independent elected road commission before the Board of Commissioners dissolved it. When you keep reading down, and it goes to legal basis for this action was permitted under Michigan Public Acts 14 and 15 of 2012, which allows the boards full county control of the road commission. So there we are. And so then there are options going forward. The board needs to make a decision to where they want to go. I've had some people email me and said, hey, let the people decide this outcome. I'm just letting you know we can decide right here on this board if it's indeed necessary. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Kirk. You got something you want to add on? You want this on the agenda for today?
Yeah, I want it on the agenda. I appreciate what you know, the options to dissolve the road commission board. But I'm more concerned about when is this going to take place? How can we move this along? Because it's pretty obvious that they don't want to
Well, you know,
do it in a timely manner, I guess, for lack of better words.
when they asked me, what put this out there, which is kind of up to you, I knew they had a meeting tomorrow. I knew that we were not going to do anything today more than we knew last week because their meeting is tomorrow. I'm letting this board know if we don't get out of that meeting tomorrow, what we want to get out, our options as this board. We can end it right now, if you want to, end it right now and bring it right here. And we will tell them, and disband it and be done with it. We have options that we can, so I want everybody to know that we can do that now. Tomorrow, we do have a meeting on the 31st. And we need to know.
Is it tomorrow
No,
or the
tomorrow.
31st?
Tomorrow's the 30th.
The 31st, right?
31st.
Wednesday,
Right.
okay.
So I knew that was coming up, Commissioner. So I knew we won't have any more information until that meeting on the 31st. But we need to get a report back from that meeting and find out what I'm on this board right now. No, we have complete power over this. Complete say. It was my if, and, or but. I told you I only deal in black and white and what's 100%. And we have complete control over this whole situation. So I guess we the pleasure of the board, but we look at, see what's going on the 31st, see where their meeting takes us. And if they have ideas, if they have, things getting ready to be put in place, we need to know that. And if they don't, this board needs to make a decision moving forward. Who's going to control that road commission? It's going to be them, or is it going to be this one? Now,
Chairman, can I ask a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what's on the agenda for the,
I don't have a copy of the agenda.
And I'm not, saying, anything is, Mr. Barrios, but after our last meeting, I was outside. And I had a couple people tell me, says, Mr. Barrios was very nice to the road commission. Because they weren't that nice. You know what I'm saying? She was very pleasant with what she reported, but he said they were a little bit that way.
I don't recall that.
And I'm just doing, I said, well, hey, that was our report from our commissioner. But, but the 31st is,
They have an 8 o'clock meeting on the 31st. I plan on being there. And my hope is to get them to come to the January 12th meeting. I've had a conversation with the chairman. I called him personally and talked to the chairman. He's going to be at that meeting. He's been out with some medical issues. So I'm hoping that meeting has a little bit of a different outcome in tone. And I would like to give them the opportunity to at least address the issues. Sometimes we feel that things need to happen quickly, and sometimes they necessarily can't. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on, and this is not just a small issue, it's a big issue. And I'm just concerned that we do what's right, and that we don't act irrationally or rationally too quickly without having all of our ducks in a row. And I know we can disband and then what? Then what? Then you've got somebody else coming in that you have to go through all the steps to do the same things that you're trying to do now. So I'm just saying, I hope we wait until that meeting. I hope there's a better outcome from them. I'm going to ask for somebody, hopefully Mr. Tuckey, to come here and make a presentation. Whether he does that virtually, so that, because I've understood here, now I've been only here since October, but I understand that there hasn't really been any type of a report back to the county board on the financials of the road commission as well.
Commissioner, all you have to do is tell Mr. your presence is wanted at the board of commissioners on the 12th. That's bottom line. That's it. He needs to be here on the 12th. End of story. I mean, that's your prerogative. That's your prerogative. Say,
I
hey,
will do that.
your presence is requested at that board on the 12th. And unless he's in the house or unless there's a valid issue, he needs to be here. End of story. So.
Chairman, how many weeks has it been?
Been a while.
Yeah, but how many weeks? It's like 2?
For me or you?
No, since the accident. 3 months, isn't it? So we've been seeing a lot of consternation for 3 months, Chairman. And we've continued to see very little response, verbal or otherwise, even a concern. And there was evidence across the street, as I recall. There was very little concern. It was more related to process, studies, whatever. How long does this rope go before it's stepped on? In a sense that
I think it goes to the 31st.
you want it to go to the 31st.
Well, I don't see
Well,
right now.
I'm not arguing that
Right,
the
go to the
31st.
31st. I mean,
But to come in on the 12th and give us a dog and pony show, and I'll use that word,
that's
is not going to be acceptable. There needs to be a plan of execution.
That's
There
actually,
should have been a plan of execution. The speed sign's gone now. I can attest that the traffic has not slowed down at all. And I'm sure the other intersections have the same issue. It's just frustrating that from a public perception, the concern that's being exhibited by the number of deaths we had all at once is really mind-boggling. I don't find much to sit back and and wait any longer. I'm somewhat with Mr. Commissioner Cook. Nothing's been done. but rhetoric and very little of that. I guess you can understand the frustration.
Absolutely.
And I know Jack, I just cannot see through this as clearly as maybe they're trying to see through it in not responding to the board. Any thoughts on that, Chairman?
No, and I agree with 100%, I guess.
No, you go right ahead. I just keyed in on you on the phone there, so that's all right. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Even a temporary flashing light would have worked, would have given some solace.
Chairman, that's where I'm at. They thumbed their nose at us as far as I'm concerned. We told them to be here. Commissioner Cook asked them for financials. Still don't see that. Evidently, they don't take us serious. I'm pretty serious. We, like Commissioner Young used to say, we're just kicking this can down the road and nothing's getting done. And like Mr. Bardwell said, he's gonna come here the 12th and give us a pony show. That's not gonna get anything done. I'm tired of it.
So, okay. We disbanded the board. Okay, well, I'm not against doing it. You know, I've been talking about it for 9 years. I'm not thinking it's not good. Where do we go from there? I mean, is it gonna happen any quicker if we disband the board? And start working on it immediately ourselves? We still gotta get with the people, they still gotta get the stuff, we still gotta, I mean.
Well, who's in charge out there?
Just, you know,
Nancy, can you tell us that? Who's in
Well,
charge?
I can tell you that, Jack, if Jack is not there, it's Julie as the vice chairman of the board. The director of finance, of course, is Mr. Tucky. And they have, Brent, and Brent seems to be the chief engineer. He's the one that goes out. He went out with, to Indian Fields Township. He went out to Guilford Township.
you know, there's a lot of things to discuss, and I agree with you 100%, Commissioner. There's a lot of things to discuss. If we look to disband the board, we better have a plan B. Okay, we better have a plan B, like Commissioner Biles said. You can't just jump into it, and a plan B is very up to me. You appoint a 3-member board out there. We can do that. We don't have to have 5 members. You put a 3-member board out there. That works directly with them and us. Final decisions have to come through this board. Finances, the roads, or whatever it may be. But, you know, that's all well and good. And I'm for that, 100% for that. But our top priority is take care of these roads right now. What's the best way to approach that? Approach it through what we have out there, expand the board and take over that project ourselves. Whatever is the best way for us to do it. You know, that's.
So let's say we do disband that board. That board tells who what to do out there. The
Yeah.
engineer?
It tells, Jason, you know, it tells the engineer, you know, of course, the engineer, you know, tells them, but yeah, they basically,
So this board could tell Jason and the engineer what to do.
we can tell them what to do now.
Chairman,
Well, we've done that and they haven't done
is
that.
James, I'd like an organizational structure because we're dancing around this. Who in that command and control structure, underneath that board, who makes the decisions?
Right, that's what I'm
But
trying to say.
it depends what project they have. Like Dave Stewart he's operational manager. Well, he's in charge of the guys out on the field.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Which this would be under his realm probably to get this organized, to get this taken care of.
He's the engineer?
No. He's the operational manager.
Okay.
Okay, so when you got power snow, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. He's the one that,
Mhm.
no, he's in charge of the crew.
Mhm.
You know, the foreman, basically, the whole road commission.
He's like the superintendent.
He's
Yeah.
like the superintendent of road commission. Okay, And he listens to what the engineer says he can do and can't do when it comes to projects and what they have to do. And was my issue, when we met with him is, you come up with these 1.5 million, 2 million projects for these townships, they can't afford that. That's why we gotta get a little bit more reality.
Boy Scout Road?
Boy Scout was a prime example. Hey, so you can figure it's gonna cost $2 million, who's gonna pay for it? But, a good point over there too. We tell them to do that now, they don't do it. They're gonna do that to somewhat until the board's gone, until their board's gone. But until then, they will listen to that board. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's where we're at too. Until we readjust that whole situation up there. It's a big step. There's counties that have done it. I've read how they've done it. I've read what they're doing since. A lot of them are doing, this is what I mentioned,
Commissioner, one of the things that I had mentioned before, and I still feel it now, is that I don't know that people that are appointed or elected to that position know their full scope of what they can and can't do. In other words, I go to those meetings and it's pretty routine. It's like ours. Here we've got to approve this, we've got to approve that, there's this, there's that, and then you go around the table and there's a round table discussion. I don't know that the Board of Commissioners on the Road Commission actually know that they have powers. I don't feel that. I haven't felt that. I feel that it's a formality, and that they don't have necessarily the power. Commissioner Koch had asked for some financials. When was that? Recently or a while ago?
Well, it's been at least 2 or 3 weeks ago.
So, I would follow up on that as well, but I kind of think, I get the impression that we've got that board here and this board here, and that we're bucking heads and it's just a big testosterone fight about what's going to get done and who's going to do it and how fast is it going to get done. And some of the people that are on the board, I don't know that they feel that they know that they have the power, that what I'm hearing, that they've got the power to do.
Well, here's the point. We've asked them here how many times? Are they here today? Was they here last Monday? Was they here the Monday before? No.
This is a special meeting, so I'm sure they didn't know that we were having this meeting. It wasn't announced until after. The 12th, we did put on their agenda. It was the 12th of January. They were supposed to be here with a plan of action. So I'm hoping when we have the meeting on Wednesday that they will be here with a plan of action on January 12th, as we have asked them to do in the motion. And then if they don't, well, all hell break loose. Look, do disband, do whatever. But we did give them in the motion January 12th to be here with a plan. So that's my 2 cents.
Chairman, I'm just reflecting on this. I have confidence in Jack that we'll get something, but along those lines, this has set a sort of a precedent in the county in relation to how we react in crisis management. And from a private sector standpoint, we have done extremely poor. If this was here in the Castings, where you came from, or any other private business, if we had a situation like this, there'd have been immediate action. There'd been something, and there'd been a 5-phase, 6-phase, whatever.
Would have been a corrective action.
There
You're
would have been
absolutely correct.
moving. There's nothing like this. Now, whether they understand their roles, I'm struggling with that in the sense they've had those roles for a long time. That's what a board does. It oversees the finances. We don't have anything for the board from the from the road commission in terms of their structure and how they're functioning and how the projects get decided. And I agree with you that dissolving without understanding the next step, other than, three-person board, how will that get us to the next step of having something physically placed to show the seriousness and to follow the highest board in this county's direction? How do you suspect that's gonna play out? I don't know. If it looks like the last 3 months, they wanted 7 weeks for a study. Well, let's see, 3 months, how many weeks is that? Pretty frustrating, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I think the waters are getting muddied. I could care less about the disbanding of the board. If we have the power as commissioners to tell the road commission, whoever that person is, not the board, the road commission, to take care of these 6 intersections, I could care less about disbanding the board. I want that done.
And I agree 100%. And basically what we have done, we have instructed that board to tell their people, which is the same thing. This is
Why, we don't need to instruct, we don't need to tell the board to instruct us. We can instruct them. That's my point. That's the frustrating part.
We'll leave it up to you to instruct. Get hold of whoever.
I'd like to see a motion.
Get whoever you.
I can't do it as one commissioner.
You can do it. Why not?
I'd like to see a motion if nothing happens on Wednesday's meeting, that they are directed to take care of these intersections from us as the Board of Commissioners, which according to the organizational chart, we are above them. And we can tell, I don't want to say tell
And
them.
we can do it. And yeah, and I have no problem with that, to put most together for that. But, I'm still in favor of just having the board down the road.
I'm not saying I'm not,
Unless it's
Chairman. I'm just saying we're going down a rabbit trail
We're
of how to
letting them
just.
know right now, we're letting them know right now, hey, we want something, tomorrow's meeting better be good, or there won't be a board out there to make these decisions. That's what we're letting them know right now. And if that ain't enough to shake the trees, then I guess we have no other options. But, except, what you said, make a motion to,
Commissioner, the other thing, and I don't know if you've heard this, but I have heard it. We've outlined those 6 intersections. And I believe when you have multiple fatalities at an intersection, that should trigger some type of action. And I believe distracted driving is the issue. There are stop signs up there. Stop signs don't work. But I've heard from people in my area, what are you going to do about this intersection? What are you going to do about that intersection? What are you going to do about Deckerville and 81? That's a terrible intersection. What are you going to do about such and such an intersection up near Vassar? Are we going to do the same thing? Make motions and direct the road commission to do every intersection that somebody, I've had that as a comment, not necessarily a complaint, but are you going to do that for all the intersections, or are we limited to these 6? But I do believe multiple fatalities. I was responsible for number 6, and that added because of the multiple fatalities. And I think road commission needs to understand that when there are fatalities, multiple, regardless of whether there are stop signs or what the reason for the stop, what the accident was, there's something wrong. And if it needs to be, and I go back to stop signs are visual. Your brain is engaged in something else. You're not looking at the road. The stop signs are there. Hurd's Corner and Deckerville has the most signs of any of the roads, and I go down that regularly. There's not, if you go to Deckerville or Hurd's Corner and 81, there's a stop sign. There isn't anything else. You go down to Bevins Road, there's an intersection there's 2 other signs. but it's people not watching. And what can you do? So you have to have another trigger. The rumble strips or the mumble strips or whatever they want to call them. You need something else to engage a person that's driving, that their brain is not connected to their eyes and they're not seeing a sign, to get their attention. And I just think that the rumble strips in those situations where you have multiple fatalities, regardless of what, whether the guy fell asleep, whether whatever, doesn't matter. You need something there to jostle the person that's driving, to wake them up to reality that, hey, there's a stop sign. I did talk to and left a message, as I mentioned before, to Senator Daley's office about all of these automated programs. Can't there be something programmed in there to say you're coming up to an intersection or there's a stop sign ahead like they do in the city? He's looking at that, or they at least told me they were. But
They won't on county roads. No, that's something we can look at. You know,
well,
it's county road, doesn't
somebody
say it's
needs to
county
do
road.
that. I know I go on my thing and I go on to Detroit and it's like, 25 miles till you get to such and so, but it doesn't say anything about the stops in between.
But Chairman, here again, we've already discussed this. We made a motion out there, and I appreciate what you're saying, but they have done
We've
nothing.
got the motion, even the Commissioner Kirk wants, but we've done the motion. I mean,
We haven't done the motion to have them do that.
Oh, I thought we did.
Absolutely we did.
No, we didn't. We never instructed the road commission to take care of these intersections.
I believe we did.
Yeah,
Could we pull that motion,
It was,
Yeah,
please, Chairman?
it was to have a plan of action, I believe, on the 12th, to come to such and such a meeting in December, and then to have a plan of action with a budget on the 12th, I believe. If you could find that, that would be terrific.
Well, while I dig that out, yeah, everybody knows why I'm Billy. I FOIA the road commission quite a bit. I'm in a lot of their emails. I'm not very liked over there. But just the way I compartmentalize stuff, and you guys are dealing with a lot right here. You got like 3 different issues going on. The first one is organizational chart. From what I've read, from what I've done, I think the supervisor, the engineer, and the finance operators, just like they do in Huron County, report directly to you guys. That would be the best. The reason they're a little sluggish is because right now they answer to the road commission, and the road commission board decides if they're hired or fired. That would be your guys' role to replace those 3 individuals if you deem necessary. At this point, I don't think so. I think their hands are tied, and they're doing as good a job as they can. So if you disband the board, I would immediately in return say the supervisor, the chief engineer, and the chief operations officer are the 3 men that you put in charge. They know everything, and they do 99% of all of it. When I've been to every meeting, it was William Green and the engineer that answered all the questions when it came to operations / how to get things done. Not only that, but it would save the county a little over $100,000 just in the budget on the road commission that you can put somewhere else. I think you just adding 3 more people just gonna muddy the waters. We have 3 experts already in place.
And again, it's just that we have to, I'm just throwing
Yep.
different things out there
You're doing everybody's doing a great job.
for
So
discussion.
from a community standpoint,
But that's a good idea too.
I
what you
think
just said.
you got 3 great people ready to go, and they answer to you guys, and they know how to get the job done. In regards to tomorrow or Wednesday's meeting, I agree with Mr. Bardwell. It will be a dog and pony show. You will get something just enough to appease you guys on the 12th, so they think. I've been doing this for 3 months. I know I'm just a civilian, but disrespect is disrespect. You've been asked twice to come to the meeting. You've been asked once for finances. And one of the greatest things that my grandfather told my dad, who told me, who was an 82nd Airborne Ranger, is you don't have to respect the person, but you need to respect the position. That's not being done. I don't have any ill feelings against the 5 individuals on the road commission. I don't know them, but the lack of communication, the lack of understanding, and the lack of compassion is evident. You can't teach somebody to be nice. You can't teach somebody to do their job. If you don't know how to do your job, you research it and you get it done. You guys have come into a lot of different things, and next meeting, you're like, here's what I figured out. The case in point, PA 15 and PA 14. You've done the research. You know what you're doing. This is just, it's just chaotic. In regards to the intersections, if it so pleases the board, I've already done the research. I could have that ready for you guys on the 12th. I can tell you exactly how much it's going to be. MDOT approved. I can even have crews that love my family go out there and do it themselves in the private sector. This government red tape, like Mr. Bill was saying, is enough. I mean, what constitutes a get it done factor? I know that I've heard a lot of rhetoric, 6 to 8 weeks to get materials. I can get it here in 3 days. I've heard I got to do a study. How, you don't study death. Death is death. If there's intersections that have accidents on it, but no death, study that. How we can do traffic flow. But the government is not here to help. And I'm asking the government to help. I'm at the point where I'm probably just going to do it myself if it doesn't get done on the 12th or this month.
Good point. And it goes back to Commissioner Cook. Okay. What do you know how to get this thing done? Okay. You hit it right on the head right there.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't, doesn't mean tomorrow it'll work out. You come back to the 12th with a plan, whatever, to get it done. The road commission will pay for it. We're in charge of their budget. We're in charge of all their finances. You know what I'm saying? That's the next step. You know what I'm saying? If we ain't getting what we want out of there.
That's 2 more weeks. That's my point.
Would you want to have a special meeting at the beginning of next week? I mean, that's where we're at. I mean,
I want to make a motion that if nothing comes out of Wednesday's meeting, that it gets done from us as commissioners, that we
There
are.
it is. You know, I mean,
What is
well,
no?
but it's basically the same thing, Commissioner. Bring us your plan. If you don't have a plan by the 12th, then we're gonna put a plan in place. Now, we can put right another motion that you want to pass.
That has no teeth to it. Does that say to have the superintendent and the other 2 individuals to do it? No. That's my point. All that is, the motion is to have them come to the 12th. Well, they didn't come to 2 other meetings before the 12th, after we made that motion, correct? When was that motion made?
December 15th. And it does say to execute the installation of rumble strips and flashing stop signs at the following locations.
Yeah, at January 12th, though, after that. I don't want to wait till then, but I'm just one commissioner. But I'm sick and tired of this stuff. If we have control over those employees, why we can't do what I want to do?
With that being said, it's a great point. I think I've been a little lost of what we should do, but I've got some clear understanding. 2 things that I'd like to present to you guys on the 12th is how much it's going to be and how long it's going to take to get it done. I'll have that proposal for you guys on the 12th from the private sector. And then secondly, too, I'll talk to my attorneys and write a resolution to from a civilian standpoint, and I'll get some teeth behind it from some people in the community that think it would be good to get rid of the board and elevate the supervisor, the engineer, and chief operations finance officer to the positions that need to be done. So I think those 2 things could be prepared by the 12th. And I'll present that to the board if that's okay. And then you guys can take it from there. I'll pay to have it done. I've already had my attorneys reach out and say, when do you want me to write it? So,
Yeah, which I appreciate that, Will. As far as red resolution, are we talking about red resolution?
yeah, I think the 5 individuals are a waste of money and a waste of time and the disrespect. Not only my family's gotten shown, which I can write off. I'm cool. But not from a community standpoint. I'm not just talking about my house. I'm talking about 5 other locations. You guys added a 6th one, and it's just nonsense. And then you guys, in the organizational chart in the Tuscola County website, you guys are the bosses, and everybody else is underneath there. And for them not to get finances or to show up at meetings, or I mean, honestly, you should see some of the emails that I FOIA'd. They don't really care. They're just there for the insurance.
And I am for board resolution, but as far as resolution, what I was going to do and have it ready, I was gonna go to these other counties who've done this already.
Yep.
And get their resolution, make sure we have the right language, the right, because I went to a party and you need to have, the reason why you're doing it. You need to have in there, the statute you're using to do it, which they all use, PA 1415.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So there's ways about doing it. So that was my next, make sure you get the resolutions to look at this exactly, their wording and everything to make sure it's done, properly. Was gonna be my next, after I've done all this research.
Sounds good. That was my 10 cents. I don't want you guys to get tangled. So,
Right.
Chairman and Commissioner Cook, looking at that motion, I was the one who placed execution in the sense I even stated it would be on the YouTube video, the urgency of having it executed. Executed means action. And if you read that, installation of rumble strips, execute. And then while you're doing it, you come to the meeting. It wasn't going to the meeting to execute. It was to execute before you got to the meeting. In my world, in my legal background, that motion is as a standing order to execute. And it's not being executed.
I say put those three guys in charge out there. That's what I say.
I just wanted to bring that up in
Yeah.
terms of another motion.
Yeah, I say put those three guys in charge out there and get rid of those five and have them come to this board and get it done. That's because evidently they think it's a joke. So, and I don't think it's a joke. And I think that those three guys that are out there, they're the workers, come here and we tell them what to do and we see what their finances are too, while we're at it.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
as far as the finances, I think that got muddied between me asking for the finances of the EDC versus the road commission. I don't think I ever asked for the.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
I said, I want to see
Guess I
it.
didn't remember it,
We were
but,
talking about the money.
but again, I don't want to talk about finances and or the reorganization of the board. I mean, I want to talk about it, but I think we're,
You want to deal with this issue first then?
yes.
And I'm for that. I mean, I have no issue.
And again, January 12th, but I'm just like Commissioner Bardwell, and it was a great
Well,
question he asked.
I,
It's been 3 months.
so let's do this. So let's, we got that meeting on the 31st. After the 31st, I guess, Commissioner Bartles get with Commissioner Cook and Wood and go over that meeting with them, exactly what took place at that meeting. And if there was any plans or any updates or whatever. If you're not satisfied with the way that meeting went, if you want to call it a special meeting, we can do that. You know what I'm saying? I have no issue with that.
I'm just one commissioner. What does
No.
everybody else feel?
I feel the same way. That's why we're saying,
Okay.
I mean, it starts with one commissioner. I mean, you know, you don't.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah, there's five, but it starts with one commissioner that.
if everybody
but that
feels the
way-
same way,
And then.
I would
you know,
appreciate it.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I feel, and I feel down the road, we need to do just, you know,
I say if they haven't got stuff started by January 12th, by the time they come here, if they ain't started working on this stuff, get rid of those guys. Period. Evidently, they don't think that way.
that's plenty of time. I mean, that's 2 more weeks. That's 3 weeks away from now. That was plenty enough time, not just come with a plan, but to have action, some action already started.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's plenty of time for that.
Chairman,
Yes.
if you are considering a special meeting next week, I would suggest that we pick that date now for posting requirements due to our closure for the holiday coming up. And then if we decide to cancel it, cancel it. That was what Clerk Betting recommended for today's
Yeah.
meeting.
But let's wait and see what will be on the 31st day place and go from there. Okay, I know because of the holidays for most people, my opinion, again, whatever everybody wants to do, if someone wants to set a day for another meeting this month, we can do that certainly. Whatever the commissioners want to do. But, you know, I think if that meeting on the 31st, they're having a special meeting, so, you know, give them a little bit of the doubt. We're having a special meeting on this. And commissioners, you can communicate.
They're having a special meeting. It's their year-end meeting.
Oh, it's not-
It's not, it's not our special
So it's not a
meeting.
special
their-
meeting.
It's not a special meeting for
I
us. It's
see.
their year end.
Oh, so, no,
Okay.
yeah.
that changes the whole. Yeah.
They're not gonna be talking about us.
Yeah, right, you did that at the beginning, but
I
anyway.
intend to go to that meeting.
well,
I'm
as you
planning to
should.
go to that meeting and I invited, as a matter of fact, I haven't heard back from him, but the supervisor of Ellington Township I invited to go to that meeting, as well.
First was Wednesday.
But when you talk about the rumble strips, and I'm not an expert. My God, I'm an old HR office person, but I know that the people that pour the asphalt quit November 15th. If those rumble strips are asphalt, and I don't know what they're made out of, and I don't know how you install them, but if that's an issue, how can we demand that they be put down if they can't because of the weather and the conditions?
Well, the
I know
weather,
you
they
can-
can put lights up around them stop
Well,
signs.
they can put the lights up on the stop signs, yes, and I've seen those up at 46 and 53. I've seen those, and yes, they can do that. And, in defense of the board, they have mentioned going and researching, and I don't know who they get their supplies from. Did you guys give them that outline that you gave?
Yeah.
That
So we called,
on the resources, on
Yes,
where
we
you
call-
can get them?
we called 10 different counties, road commissions.
Mhm.
Not only did they hear of our situation, but they had already like, hey, thanks for reaching out. And they gave us how many suppliers? Three suppliers for rumble strips and 2 suppliers for lights that are MDOT approved and where they order.
And they had them in
And,
stock.
yes, so the lights are in stock and can be here in 2 days. And then the quote, same for the rumble strips, and we'll have the quote, God willing, tomorrow on how much that was, because it's not rocket science.
Right.
I'm not a road commission person, but I've run over rumble strips. And I've also talked to Huron County, they told us what they use. They don't do the grind ones, they do the epoxy. So they can replace them quickly and readily. So they're rubber epoxy. That I will have for you guys here. You'll have a book on the 12th if you need it. And just like the road commission, like, is it Mr. Mike, what's his last name? For the maintenance,
Mike Miller.
Mike Miller.
Oh, yeah.
The road commission would send to Mike Miller, probably William Green, say, here's what we're doing this week, this is what we're done, and then have a great day. That's the same approach that the other couple counties told me that they've done. So especially in Huron, they only have a 3-man team. So
Chairman, now that we, and Commissioner Cook and other commissioners, now that we realize what this meeting's going to be on, 31st annual meeting, I was thinking as you were discussing, perhaps you might want to consider having those 3 gentlemen at the meeting here.
On the 12th, you're talking.
Yes.
I agree.
And you're talking, Mike Tuckey,
Jason Root.
Jason Root. And, William Reed.
So how do we get a hold of those gentlemen?
She'll be at the meeting tomorrow,
Wednesday. I'll be
or
at the
Wednesday,
meeting,
excuse me.
and I'll make sure that they know that we are requesting that those 3 individuals be at the meeting. And that Mr. Tuckey can provide a financial report, if you want that financial report at that meeting as well, I'm sure. Right. And expectations of what their plan of action of implementation is. You want that as well.
Absolutely.
Really, the plan, excuse me, Chairman.
Yeah.
Why it wasn't executed when this motion was made shortly thereafter, that there'd been signs of execution.
Thank you.
This was December 15th meeting.
Yes.
Thank you.
There should be signs of execution.
So by January 12th, it's a month. Pretty close.
And that doesn't preclude, Chairman, having someone from the board there, obviously. Just so if the 3 gentlemen's invited and all of a sudden that's all we have,
Yeah.
they want to limit it. It's just that would be a misunderstanding.
I can invite the board as well.
Yeah, anybody would work.
Okay.
I mean, commissioners, do they really know that we're over top of them? They really realize that we're the last stop right here? Do they know that?
Yeah, we've had that discussion. They know that the buck stops here.
The workers or the board? What do you?
The board,
Commissioner.
the board.
I don't know.
Well, that might want to be
So
expressed out
that's why
there.
I'm getting this, this is why I'm feeling this, confrontation.
Doesn't
It's
have
us
to be a
against-
confrontation.
It's us against them.
At all.
That's what I feel. It's a challenge between two boards. That's what I feel.
Well, here's the challenge. We need to tell them that we're over top
We're
of
over
them,
the top of them.
that there won't be none of this back and forth. This is what we want done, period.
I'll let you know how the meeting goes. Maybe we can set a special
This
meeting
way
after,
the
I suppose.
story goes. Cut that, don't make that. So we want me to do a concert right, so. Okay. Is that sufficient enough for today, though? Commissioner Fritz, would you like to have any kind of motion before we leave here? To, take it a step further, anything that you? Or anything we're,
Everybody else is happy with January 12th.
well, let's see what this meeting is tomorrow. What entails, maybe, I'm sure we're gonna be discussed. Either it's, like today, we can refer, but here's the finance stuff, what we've been doing. Because the roads and stuff for half an hour.
Chairman,
Yeah.
and Commissioner Cook, January 12th is a committee of the whole. No motions can be made on the committee of the whole.
I understand that, sir.
Okay.
I'll have one ready for the Thursday, whatever it is, 14th, 15th.
Okay. I don't see that we need to, go down like committee reports and stuff to you guys. I know we just done that last week.
Just have one.
Yeah.
I just have one thing that I want to mention because it's time sensitive. And I sent this out to you and Erica. Michigan Department of Treasury is accepting applications for financially distressed cities, villages, and townships. It's a grant program. And for some of our villages and townships that are financially strapped, the deadline to apply is January 30th, but it does require a board resolution and a number of other items. Cities in our neighboring Huron County and in Sanilac County both have had repeated grants through this program. Village of Mayville in the past has gotten a grant for a water program. It's been several years back. I just wanted to make mention, so anybody out there in the remote land, if you're in one of our townships or villages, there is an opportunity. Michigan Department of Treasury, it's the FDCVT grant program, financially distressed cities, villages, and townships.
Yeah, I read that when you said that.
Commissioner, is that a resolution from this board or a resolution from their township or village board?
It's from their own.
Yeah, if they mutually. Okay. Any other business necessary to come from the board this morning? Well, you all have a great, we got a STEM public comment. Let's one of that first. We want to address the board this morning? Let the record show that we had offered for the comment. We had no takers. Hope everybody has a great New Year's and great holiday, and hope everybody had a good Christmas.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
So move by Commissioner, support by Commissioner. During the meeting this morning, any more discussion? All fair say aye.
Aye.
That's your.